here I am, Thursday Hammerfest with Mo Royce from Tragedy.
Hey everybody.
Right, was it one of those things we woke up one morning and suddenly thought, I know what we'll do a Bee Gees metal tribute band, or was it something you had planned for a while?
Well, it definitely didn't happen in the morning. What happened is that we had an idea. We were presented with the opportunity to play like a weekend supporting like this band in New York City, and it was like sold out shows at a big venue, and we didn't have a band. But the promoter was like, "Hey, you guys, why don't you guys put something together?" I was working on a recording project with the guy I started the band with, and we're like, "Okay, yeah, we got it. It's a heavy metal tribute to the Bee Gees." And we thought it would be, it was just an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we were always big fans of, disco and metal and a whole lot of different kinds of music, but, metal and disco are such polar opposites. And we thought, well, that would be funny. And then it was more than funny, it was awesome, like once we started putting the music together. And then to go and play it for people, the response it had, we thought at the beginning it would just be these, this weekend of shows, and that would be it. And then here we are, like, I think it's 8 or 9 years later, and 4 albums later, and,
Well, that little thing, such a big thing grew.
Yeah.
So, do you play a lot of festivals? You've got a lot lined up?
Fair amount of festivals. We're doing Summer Breeze again this summer. We're actually doing 3 nights there. They're giving us our own stage.
Are they?
Yeah. So that should be fun. And what other festivals do we have coming up? I think that might be it for now. But we're touring UK right now. We're actually, this is the most ambitious tour schedule we've ever done. We're doing 16 gigs in 16 cities in 16 days.
All right, I hope they're sort of mapped out so they're not too far apart each one. Otherwise you might have an issue.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah, and they're no drives longer than. I mean, I think the longest drive was the first day, and the first day. This is funny. We flew into London and we were playing in Carlisle, so it's like 5-hour drive without traffic, and we gave ourselves 6.5 hours or something like that, but then it started snowing, and we're supposed to get to BBC Radio for an interview there, in-studio interview, and it was like, I'll get there 3:30, no, it's going to be 4:30, now it's going to be 4:45, and we ran out of fuel 20 minutes outside town, so we did a phone-in, and I did it from the side of the road. And these guys, we almost made it to services. So all those guys were pushing the splitter into services, and walking on the side of the road, doing a live phone interview. Getting my feet soaked, but it was fabulous.
Yeah, totally different. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You can do interviews most places, but on the side of a motorway, definitely.
Yeah. I was actually even being harassed by the cops, telling me, they'd stop and get out of the road.
You couldn't make it up, could you? Real life sometimes does things like that to you. So, you've been in the band for about 8 years.
Yeah, something like that, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. So how did you you said you came together, but who was in the band the longest? Was it you? Is it you started it? Or?
Yeah. Well, now me and the bass player have been in the band the longest. Our Barry Glibb, I also started the band with. He just left the band last October. But we've always kind of split up lead vocals anyway, so there's never any one front man. And we've had a few different people over the years, but the lead singers in this lineup been on it for the last 2 albums, and, still going strong, keeping it fresh.
Excellent. Now I always ask some random questions, and I don't know whether you've heard, but Daniel Craig is no longer going to be playing James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
So, who in the band...
Are you asking me to play James Bond? That's a great idea. That'd be perfect.
I was going to say, who in the band would best suit being James Bond?
Well, I think we'd have to fight over it, but I would, say Mo Royce. I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
I have the accent, everything. You got the hair. I mean, this hair.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So, if you're James Bond, you're auditioning, could you say something like, my name's Bond, James Bond. Do you think you could do it and get the voice right?
I think I'd have to rewrite that one. That's not really what I would say.
What would you say?
I would say, hey, I'm Mo Royce. I mean James Bond. Something like that.
Something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
right, more seductive.
Was that seductive?
Sounded it.
See, I can't even help it, man, I just opened my mouth and,
So, if you were going to be the James Bond, who would be the villain? Who in your band could play your nemesis?
Lance. Oh my God, do you know Lance? Oh, he's such an idiot. He's our towel boy, and we try to lose him. Like, we pretty much every day we leave him at services, and he finds his way to the gig somehow. And you're just like, I don't know, man. I don't know why we fire him, but he keeps coming back. I mean, all he does is kind of towel us off and pretend to play his pink flying V ukulele and then he takes all the credit for it. He actually even made a T-shirt of himself.
Really?
That he sells at our merch booth.
So that might lead me on to my next question, which could be quite interesting, saying you can't lose them. So as a band, you've made it. You're doing really well. You're in a private jet going to a gig, and you're drinking champagne and all that.
That is exactly how our day went today. Right. Yes.
So drinking champagne, everything's going fine. And when something happens to the pilot and the plane starts to go down, you have one parachute, and then you find another. Who in the band would you save?
Well, I'd save myself, obviously. I'd probably keep both parachutes for myself.
There'd be no argument.
I'd want a backup,
Yeah. No arguments then. Take two. Don't tell him.
Those guys, they can probably figure out how to land the plane. Yeah. They're good like that.
Excellent. So, when you do shows, do you do much writing or preparation before you do a show, or how does it work?
Well, we do write the world's greatest songs. I mean, you know the song Staying Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that.
We do that, yeah.
How Deep Is Your Love? We do that. But no, actually, seriously, we do have a real writing process, and it's funny, how I'd never been in a tribute band or a cover band or anything like that, and it's funny how similar it is doing this, because we're sure these songs exist in some form, but we're totally reinventing them. So we absolutely have writing sessions and everything like that. Do we write on the road? We come up with kind of performance bits on the road, I would say, more than we're... And sometimes we may be tweaking arrangements and stuff like that. But there's not a lot of time, especially a tour like this. We don't have a day off. Yeah. So we're not going to be, going and working on a brand new arrangement for a song when we're on the road.
So while you're on the road, how do you sort of relax in between gigs? What do you do?
Well, these guys like to go to club nights.
Do they?
Yeah. That's how they relax. And then, their relaxation is being really hungover the next day, and then, but it's so weird. By about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're just fine, good to go, good to do it all again. With this kind of schedule, it's pretty regimented. Load in, then do your sound check, maybe get something to eat, relax a little bit, then it's showtime, and then you gotta pack up, go to the hotel, and then, everyone always wants us to go out after. Happens every once in a while, because not every day can be Saturday night for us.
No, that's very true. Well, thank you so much for giving me some of your time
and
showing me an
pleasure.
insight into tragedy.
Yeah, you
It's
got it.
amazing. Yeah, and I'll let them know about James Bond for you.
Yeah. I mean, perfect, right?
Absolutely.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, right.
All
Thank you.